for the People's Rally that is taking place on Sunday, the 15th. We've already spoken to PRASA to provide us with trains. So the train lines that come from KwaMashu, from Umlazi, and from Cattle Ridge, we're going to be providing trains which will be used for free by those who are going to ride the trains. The good thing is that we've got a train station just here in Moses Mabhida Stadium. So they will safely take people from all the train stations that come from the line of Umlazi, mostly in the Bridge City area, and then Cattle Ridge and KwaMashu, to then come, and then they will be safely taken back home when the rally has been concluded. The gates of the rally will be in the stadium, will be opened at 7 o'clock in the morning. An entertainment program is going to start at 9 o'clock in the morning. And we're going to have an hour long of interfaith prayers by the religious community, because we've got a substantial religious community in Umkhonto weSizwe. So prior to the commencement of the official program, we're going to have an hour long interfaith program from 11 o'clock until 12 o'clock. And then the official program will start, presided by the national chairperson, at 12 o'clock. And then the provincial convener will welcome everyone to the event. Messages of support, messages from the fraternal and internal organizations, and then address by our president on the activities and the program political agenda of Umkhonto weSizwe. On the 16th of December, which is the Monday, Umkhonto weSizwe Party will hold the gala dinner at the Olive Convention Center. And the tables for the gala dinner are still available for those that want to participate in the gala dinner. The contact details for those who seek to attend the gala dinner and also want to use the hospitality suites here at the stadium are provided as packages at mkpevents.co.za, and the number that is provided for those who want to contact is 081-887-3497. We also want to announce publicly, because there was proper and no clear information provided before, that those who want to still apply for vending purposes, like basically to sell regalia or food in line with the necessary regulation and in compliance with what is required, should still contact the leadership of Umkhonto weSizwe here in the region of eThekwini. We have assigned Commander Bongani Cele, who is the regional organizer of eThekwini, to be responsible for all the vending activities that are going to take place. And his number of those who want to contact him will be 065-892-7305. So Bongani Cele, the organizer of eThekwini, will be responsible for making sure that those who want to have economic value, economic benefits out of the event are allowed proper and properly regulated space to do their work. And then the regions in eThekwini that and sub-regions that want to confirm their pickup points outside of eThekwini, we have assigned Ntando Mkhize to be the one who is going to be responsible for the coordination of transport outside of eThekwini, which will be with the number of 064-503-2475. And for all the transportation of eThekwini supporters and ground forces, we've got Commander Tulas Mkhize, who is reachable on 078-101-0546. And so all the ground forces of eThekwini, if there is frustration about delayed buses, that will be the number that will be available 24/7 to make sure that everyone else safely comes into the rally. And the meeting which we just came from now, which is the Event Safety and Security Planning Committee for the MKP's first anniversary rally, has mandated us to publicly communicate the following. Number one is that no firearms and dangerous weapons will be permitted in the precincts of the stadium and the rally. And number two, that traditional weapons will only be permitted and approved for Amabuto because an official application and approval were made in regard to permitting Amabuto to carry traditional weapons. And they will be moving in a clearly defined route which will end up on the pitch of the stadium. And number three is that there will not be distribution and sale of alcohol in the event itself. It's an alcohol-free event in the manner in which it has been approved. And that those who are going to be transporting themselves are encouraged to use the turnstiles in the south of the stadium, because those who are going to come through the publicly funded transport of Umkhonto weSizwe are going to utilize the north turnstiles of the stadium. So there will be clear directions from all the entrance points as to where the south turnstiles are. And that those who are going to utilize photographic drones should necessarily get a permission from the stadium and from the SAPS, so that the photographic drones are not mistaken for something else. So there has to be permission for whatever photographic drone that is going to be utilized on the day of the event. Umkhonto weSizwe is demonstrating to the people of South Africa that despite the electoral fraud, which robbed us of our votes, were a solid, sound, and law-abiding organization, which will exhaust all permissible legal instruments to fight its battles. The Secretariat of Umkhonto weSizwe will soon communicate the program of action and calendar for 2025, which will begin on the 6th of January 2025. The program for 2025 will include the official opening of the head office of Umkhonto weSizwe in both Johannesburg and here in Durban. So there are, of course, two wings of the head office, being in Johannesburg and here in Durban. And the program for 2025 will include the full establishment of voting district, ward, sub-regional, regional, and provincial structures, and of course, provincial and the organic and public launches of Umkhonto weSizwe Women's League, Umkhonto weSizwe Youth League, and Umkhonto weSizwe Students Movement. The program for 2025 will also include a week-long policy conference to consolidate our policy positions and agenda for change and radical economic transformation. And our program for 2025 will include the systematic and systemic revealing to the people of South Africa on how elections were rigged against Umkhonto weSizwe Party. Umkhonto weSizwe Party remains a disciplined liberation movement fighting for total emancipation and freedom. We remain opposed to the so-called government of national unity and stand opposed to any form of cooperation with the white minority racist agenda. The values and principles of Umkhonto weSizwe remain the following: Ubuntu, unity in action, Pan-Africanism, patriotism and equality, honesty and respect, which emphasizes that we must tell no lies and claim no easy victories, democratic centralism, mandates, accountability and reporting, organic forms of public representation, discipline and hard work, knowledgeability and meritocracy, class consciousness. Umkhonto weSizwe Party is opposed to colonialism, neocolonialism, neoliberalism, racism, sexism, and all unjust laws and systems and practices that seek to demonize black people and Africans in South Africa and the entire world. Umkhonto weSizwe is founded on the fundamental philosophy that the greatest weapon in the hands of the oppressed is their unity in action. We're a movement that is still fighting for the unification of all progressive forces in South Africa. And the first anniversary celebrations will be demonstration of the decisive move of unification of all the progressive forces and voices in South Africa. Thank you. The response to the first question is that we have extended the invitation to all the parties in the Progressive Caucus. So we're extending the invitation to the Economic Freedom Fighters, to the African Transformation Movement, which is the ATM, to the National Colors Congress, and then to the African Unity Congress, which is part of the Progressive Caucus. And when they come, we will give them an opportunity to give message of support in the first anniversary of Mkhonto weSizwe, because these are our strategic friends in terms of the agenda that we're in pursuit of in the immediate. We know, as a matter of fact, because we had direct interaction with the leadership of the ATM, that the ATM has definitely confirmed attendance through its entire leadership that is going to come. Not only the leadership of ATM is going to attend, they've also encouraged their members to come and attend the first anniversary of Mkhonto weSizwe. So this is a uniting movement, to the extent that a different political organization even has an elaborate transport plan to transport their members to celebrate the first anniversary of Mkhonto weSizwe. The other question is by when are we going to have a nationwide coverage of branches of Mkhonto weSizwe? So, in the manner that it is now, we are of a firm observation and view that a substantial number of people in South Africa are already mobilized behind the vision and banner of Mkhonto weSizwe. What is to be done now is to organize them into VD-based structures, ward-based branches, and sub-regional structures, regional structures of Mkhonto weSizwe. We can say without any fear of doubt and contradiction that there is not a single VD in the entirety of South Africa where there are no people who are interested in participating actively in Mkhonto weSizwe. So from an aerial mobilization point of view, we have achieved a lot of people, and we know that because from time to time there's inquiries of where do we gain access to Mkhonto weSizwe, but also the map of the recent online application for membership have got a proper balance in terms of geographic spread and balance in all parts of South Africa. So what we as the collective of the leadership are going to be doing is to now organize the already mobilized people who are beginning to see the vision and an agenda and political program of Mkhonto weSizwe. And when we do that much more efficiently and responsibly, we can be able to give an account of leadership structures in all the 23,219 VDs of South Africa having leadership structures before the beginning of second half of 2025. Then that will be a machinery bold enough to contest local government elections in all the 4,364 wards if the demarcation does not change or reduce the number of wards. But we are going to field candidates for 2026 in all the wards of South Africa. And we will be having representatives in each and every VD because there is widened and far much deeper interest in the politics of Mkhonto weSizwe. And there's a high possibility, which I'm sure we'll see when it happens, that some of the political parties are going to unify with Mkhonto weSizwe. And that will be communicated when the time is opportune and it has been finalized. So major engagements are taking place as to just how do we integrate, how do we constitute one political movement. If you listen to President Zuma and all the addresses that he gave in different platforms in the recent past, everywhere he has spoken, he said that we as the progressive forces, as the oppressed people, let's constitute a platform where we must vote together so that we can achieve the political power which can be utilized for thoroughgoing, radical economic, social, cultural transformation and emancipation of our people. So that is the agenda that we're in pursuit of. And it will be demonstrated practically in 2025 and towards 2026 local government elections. And of course, so when we did the press conference to announce the activities and programs of the first anniversary, we did explain the reasoning as to the host areas for the programs for 2024, for the first anniversary. We chose Mkondo municipality in Mpumalanga because Mkondo received 55% of the vote, if not more. We chose Mandeni representing Ilembe because overall the district of Ilembe, if the 29 May 2024 elections were local government elections, Mkondo will have recorded an outright victory in Ilembe district. And we chose Ekurhuleni because of the 5 regions of Gauteng. Ekurhuleni had the highest percentage of people who voted for Mkondo Wesizwe. And then we chose the province of KwaZulu-Natal because without any iota of doubt, KwaZulu-Natal remains the backbone of Mkondo Wesizwe in terms of the proven electoral support. And of course, we are building from a firm foundation of KwaZulu-Natal to expand similar presence, if not even stronger, in all other parts of South Africa. And logically, when a decision is taken over where else do we have the second anniversary or the third anniversary of Mkondo Wesizwe, it's most likely going to be any other province than KwaZulu-Natal, because KwaZulu-Natal has had the opportunity to host a very important first anniversary program of our organization. So the consideration of the upcoming programs will be other provinces. It might be in the Eastern Cape, it might be in Limpopo, it might be in Gauteng, it might be in the Free State or Northwest, wherever that is going to happen. Now the case of electoral fraud is ready, and cases are not presented in rallies. Cases are presented in courts of law. And in terms of the massive evidence that has been presented to the leadership, we are more than confident that when that is brought before a balanced, free, transparent, and open court of law, there will be a clear illustration that there was electoral fraud which was targeted on Mkondo Wesizwe. It was targeted on trying to dwindle and substitute the votes which otherwise Mkondo Wesizwe should have received in the 2024 elections. And that will be demonstrated in an open court of law by the legal representatives who have been assigned to perform such a function. Now, we have purposefully divorced from the culture of other political organizations of holding a gala dinner before the rally, because gala dinners by their very nature, they finish after midnight. So if you have got an important program which will need your energy the next day, it's not advisable that you have a program the day before which exhausts you until after midnight. So if we have a gala dinner on a Friday or Saturday, it's definitely we're going to pass the midnight period, whether it's the speeches and the interactions and everything else, and then you still expect the same people to go and address a rally the next day. So we then took it differently, that let's attend the rally fresh, the entire leadership fresh, interact with our people, and then the rally is done around 5, 6 in the evening. We've got the whole night to rest, we've got the second day to rest as well. And then the gala dinner is held in the evening of Monday, when the leadership is again fresh to address a full fresh program, and can easily even cross over the midnight button, such that they don't have any other obligations organizationally the day after. So the logic that we got to apply in terms of the programming said that there was no advisability, none whatsoever, to hold a gala dinner a day before, because that was going to exhaust us in terms of what is happening. And there are, of course, people who have made commitments to buy the tables which are on offer. Platinum table, where the president will be sitting, is priced at 2 million rands. And there's an offer, a firm offer, which is not going to be turned back, of someone who has said they're going to purchase that table to support Umkhonto weSizwe. And there's many other offers that are coming as well for the other tables that are on offer for the leadership. But of course, we still open for those who want to participate in the gala dinner of the soon-to-be government of this province, if not the whole of South Africa. Umkhonto weSizwe party is that we have here. But the pattern that is appearing is that you have got political parties that were given free votes which they were not supposed to get in certain VDs here in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, at the expense of Umkhonto weSizwe. And the manner in which those who did so did it, they forgot to shift the votes in all the ballots, because there were 3 ballots for these elections. So you find that in ballot 1, Umkhonto weSizwe has got 8,000 votes, but in ballot 2 has got less than 20 votes. So that is the pattern that characterized the electoral fraud that we're talking about. And that was not committed by, we don't think, by political parties. It was done by those who were mandated to do so, the electoral staff and everything else. And that will be revealed when we go to court. So the question of SABC, I think, reflects a relatively less understanding of the context of how we're lodging the case. But I'm sure when we then go to court, it will illuminate everyone's view so that we all are at once. So it's not a frivolous case. It's not a playful case where Umkhonto weSizwe is refusing to accept the election results. It's a genuine case. You can, those of you who can still gain access to the results, you can try to assess all the VDs, all the 4,971 VDs of KwaZulu-Natal. Go and read the VD results and assess all the 3 ballots and explain how is it possible that on the 3 ballots you get 8,000 this side, and on the other ballot you get less than 20 votes. It doesn't make sense. And it was a deliberate attempt to particularly sabotage Umkhonto weSizwe having an outright majority and victory in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, and that is going to be reversed through a proper scientific and correct illustration of the numbers that were stolen from Umkhonto weSizwe. So that is the essence of how such is going to be handled. So you know, Umkhonto weSizwe is a campaigning organization. We're campaigning every day. We're busy every day. So everything else that we do is part of confidence building exercises and programs. So it's not only a 2025 program. Even now, we're preparing for 2026 now. We're preparing for 2029 now. Everything else that we do every day, our engagements with different sectors, the sectoral meetings that we have and engagements, is part of illustrating to society that we constitute a superior alternative in the politics of South Africa. That is what Umkhonto weSizwe is, a liberation movement that seeks to unite all the progressive black voices and black forces, progressive forces. So President Zuma always says that indlu yemnyama yahlangana, finally, to take over political power, because we have been subdivided by the colonial masters and their descendants. That is why they are very quick to fund splinter groups and small parties that are not viable, that cannot win elections. And they try to banish and demonize progressive forces, which, if we were to consolidate, we're going to have a decisive majority in the politics of South Africa. And that is the politics that we are in a pursuit of. The spaza shops, the regions and the provinces of Mkhonto we Sizwe have been involved far much more substantially in the protest actions. I know here in eThekwini, the Women's League and women's formations of Mkhonto we Sizwe were involved in the Youth League and in Ilembe, in many parts of South Africa, on targeted campaign of even vetting the spaza shops to say, where do you get the food from? Who is your manufacturer? Who is your FMCG in terms of supplies of the products which are being sold in each and every spaza shop? So practical action has been engaged. And you know the sorry mistake which most part of media do, they ignore the work of Mkhonto we Sizwe, and then when results come out later, they'll say we're surprised. But Mkhonto we Sizwe is on the ground, has been raising the issue of spaza shops. But also, our representatives in Parliament, in the necessary committees, have been raising the issues of the spaza shops. We've issued public statement to state our position, which includes assembling a legal team to lodge a class action on behalf of the organization, on behalf of the people who have been affected negatively by this reckless management of the spaza shops, which led to deaths of so many people. So that is one of the issues that we're then dealing with. So there's a question of which municipalities are we targeting for 2026. We're targeting all the municipalities, all of them. We're going to put maximum equal effort in all the 247 municipalities of South Africa. So there won't be a municipality where we're not going to put full force. That applies to Cape Metro. We're going to contest against the Democratic Alliance there in full force. In Overberg, T-Veterskloof, in Grabo, everywhere in Swartland, in Wittenberg, everywhere we're going to go full force to contest. In the entirety of the Eastern Cape, in all the municipalities in Jotabi, we're going to contest in full force to take Walter Sisulu municipalities, Sengu, Elundini, everything. Buffalo City, we're going to go in full force in all the municipalities with the aim of achieving the victory. And what we're going to do successfully is to defend the gains which Mkhonto we Sizwe has already recorded here in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. Mkhonto we Sizwe is number one in all the 11 regions of KwaZulu-Natal. We are number one in terms of the number of votes received in the 29th of May. And the number of municipalities where Mkhonto we Sizwe is not number one are very few. It's Big Five Hlabisa, we said in the last press conference, it's Big Five Hlabisa in Mkhanyakude, it's Ulundi in Zululand because of the IFP's historical dominance there. It's Mtonjaneni in King Tatayo. It's Greater Kokstad in Herigwala region. It's Mzumkulu in Herigwala region. But the rest of the municipalities, Mkhonto we Sizwe is a decisive number one, inclusive of Abatulusi, of Nongoma, of Dumbe, of all the municipalities that are strategic. Then Hausa and Newcastle, Mkhonto we Sizwe is upward of 55%. So those gains are going to be defended much more boldly and without shame, including the ones where Mkhonto we Sizwe is number one in the province of Mpumalanga and Gauteng region. Will defend those gains and get to even bring each and every other municipality into the fold of decisive victory. We are a national organization which is going to spread its wings everywhere. It, of course, was not practically possible to could spread the wings of Mkhonto we Sizwe in less than 6 months of its existence when the 29 May elections took place. Now there is time to spread the wings of Umkhonto weSizwe, to unite all the progressive forces in all parts of South Africa to achieve a decisive victory. We will definitely be number one after the 2026 local government elections, and we will achieve the envisaged and envisioned 2/3 majority in 2029 elections. And that victory will be a victory on behalf of the oppressed masses of our people for total emancipation. Thank you very much.
Okay. I think that brings to a close the press conference. I want to say thank you very much. See you at the historic first anniversary of Umkhonto weSizwe. You don't want to miss it. It is going to be amazing. Thank you and good day. Thanks.